And now, more with Social Women with your hosts, Pat Cruz, Amy Diaz, and Bronwyn Dannenfelser.
We are here with lifestyle expert Candita Clayton, who is returning with us. We haven't had that happen yet. But we have
my first returning guest.
Yes.
No, I'm honored.
Well, this is a little different now. We have we are going to be doing the something exciting. We have something very exciting going on with Social Women, and I think I'm going to leave it in Candita's hands to explain what we have that's going on.
Well, after my last visit, I was inspired by many of your questions and
how disorganized I am.
Well, I would say your overwhelm. I think it was your overwhelm that resonated with me. So I went home and I started to kind of percolate some ideas, and I was thinking, if
she was thinking Pat needs a lot of help.
If Pat's going through this, I bet that there's lots of women who are kind of feeling the same thing, including me. And I'm sure both of you too, Amy and Bronwyn, you probably have your moments, although it wasn't maybe as obvious as Pat's that day.
Oh,
no. Probably brought on, I think it was the new puppy that day. That was really what it was.
You can talk to my husband, I'm sure.
But anyway, so I started to think about it. What would be a great time frame for change? And I was thinking, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And then I thought, no, it's 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. I thought about it, and I thought, 8 weeks seems like the perfect number.
What would be that in Pat time?
That is Pat's time.
I'll be late for the first 4 weeks.
That is it in Pat's time. We figured 8 weeks was the...
Pat's going to need more than 8 weeks, but Candida promises
That's a Pat weekend.
Get me in shape and get it going.
Get organized. And
yes.
Or as she says, overwhelmed. That's a good word for that, actually.
Overwhelmed.
I'd say the next time I'm disorganized, I'm like, hey, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed was the day that she sent me a note that said, I'd like to do this challenge and we're going to use you.
Poor Pat turns to me and she's like, oh, no. This is not happening.
Following Pat around in her very disorganized life.
She's like, no one's following me home. Nobody is following me home. I remember that. And I turned to her, I'm like, so what's the point of the challenge if no one's following you home?
We're going to talk her into following her home. Don't worry.
Actually, the reason was not for that, but more of because my kids are home and I try to keep them,
I understand.
Actually have to deal with enough with mom. They don't need mom and a crew, film crew.
No, no, we don't want to turn you into the next Kate and 8. And
we don't want anything like that. So we don't need the reality show of the Pat Cruz household. With the new dog and all.
I think a lot of people would tune in.
I think so. I think it's possible.
So what is this process that we're about to embark on?
So we're all signing on, right? Everybody?
Yes, we're all on.
And we're signing.
I'm on by default.
And including me, because I think my life can be better too.
All right. Can our listeners sign on too?
Yes.
Okay, good.
This is a challenge for the listeners to join us.
Excellent. Right.
So we want you out there to join us in this 8-week challenge.
Right. And in which time we're going to cover everything from exercise, nutrition, meditation, organization, all kinds of things that make our life better. So right now, our listeners can go to Facebook, and we just created a new page, the Better Living Challenge.
The Better Living Challenge. I'm putting it up right now.
I think that's what I called it. Yeah,
yes. We're finding it.
It is 8 weeks to Better Living Challenge.
I think we actually called it the Better Living Challenge on Facebook. And that was this morning, so lots of things happened between then and now.
Can Larry join us too with the 8-week challenge?
Oh, sure.
What?
You win.
Larry can join us, and
you want to drag me down with you three, huh?
Your wife too, right? Bring her in on it. It's perfect.
Actually, if they're signing on,
it's not
Melissa, I'm sure you're listening out there. You need to make it not private now. Because she had it private earlier, right?
Oh,
so that we
probably.
could check it out.
Yeah,
so
she may
we're
not have.
looking for it.
She
It's
might
not
not
up yet.
have published it. Yeah. Okay.
So it will be, I'm sure, by the time she's already clicking away, saying
Okay.
it's public.
Melissa, that's for you. But anyway, in just a few moments, you'll be able to go and like the page. And so we're going to start by, we're going to launch this on February 28th. Right, which is a Tuesday. And during that time, we're going to have an assessment where you can go and download the assessment from Facebook. And it's just a little questionnaire that will kind of help us to define where it is that we all want to do better for both the listener and for us. Right?
Nice.
So that we
So
can.
we all have our own assessment to fill out.
Right. And then we'll kind of do a little self-evaluation from the assessment, and then we'll determine where we need the most help. So maybe some weeks we'll be talking about exercise, meditation, and maybe you already have a great exercise routine, or you already meditate, and you don't need that information, and you can just say, "Yay, I'm all set with that one." But then maybe you're not doing better with. You'd like to have better nutrition or better balance in your life, and so maybe you need a little extra help there. So,
I need a lot of help.
so it is
no little help
perfect
anyway.
for you.
Each
A lot of help.
week-
What's scary is you mentioned all these things. It's not one thing I'm a part of. No meditation, no exercise. No, I just move from point A to point B, and it's just I'm in one of those cases, and it's just, do you go to the gym or no?
No.
That's a no. Okay. Same thing. Like, I get up, I go to work, and then I come home, and then the day seems to go by, and the thought just seems to be, where did the day go? And then that's the biggest thing, time.
Mm-hmm. Time.
What needs to be? I mean, we've had 24 hours for the longest time.
Can't they add a few?
Can they add a few hours? I mean,
Right.
is anybody really going to notice?
I know.
So maybe we need to talk about time management before we talk about
Yes.
exercise, so we
Actually-
can make the time to do it.
Time management.
That's week
That's
6.
exactly.
Who said it was 24 hours,
Yeah.
really? This
Time
could be
management.
one long continuous day with the sun going up and down, up and down, up and down,
I know. But see, then it's a way of saying, okay, I know now that I cannot make time to go to the gym. If I know that, how else am I going to get my exercise in? There are other ways. You don't have to go to the gym to exercise, right? So sometimes it's about looking at things from a different way and saying, okay, if I know that's not going to work for me, it's not going to fit into my day, how else am I going to fit it into my day? So
That's what I need.
This is perfect because, I kept my word and I signed up for the Backside Challenge. We had a guest on last
did
week.
one.
You did? Well, I've been doing it every day.
She needs
very
to start.
Oh, that's Jen.
Yeah.
Jen,
Yeah.
please stick it on my Facebook page so I see what it is, because I don't go on Twitter as much, so I don't really follow that. If it were, she put it on the first day, are you doing this? And I was like, oh, that's right, I have to do this. And then I did it.
Yeah.
And then I could check that off. So that was great for me.
But I like that. It's how you're looking at it. And then with all of us supporting each other.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Right.
So it's like we're all going on a mini diet together, and we're going to try to keep each other healthy.
Well,
Not
it's
just
like
diet, but I mean
support.
diet of life and obstacles that we need to get over. How's that?
Exactly. So in that daily support, you've got somebody nudging you on Facebook, on Twitter. Did you do that? You said you wanted to do this. Did you get a chance to do it today? I mean, you said you weren't going to try to meditate for 5 minutes. Did you get a chance to do it? Right. So it's just kind of keeping ourselves accountable and our friends accountable for where we want to be.
And Candida, are there going to be like daily exercises, or it'll be like one week? I know we're going to focus on a certain thing, but will there be like a breakdown? So every day we go and we check in,
I think that basically. So let's say in week 1 we're really going to just fine tune where we want to be. So when we go to week 2 with exercise and meditation, we're going to ask you to really define your goal. And if you're saying, well, I really would like to try to exercise at least 3 times this week, as we get through it, then we're going to ask those questions. We're going to be very interactive.
And it's not necessarily, it's not necessarily that we want them to go on an exercise routine, and plan this big thing out. It could be as little as going for a 5-minute walk, or whatever it is, on their own terms.
Exactly.
On their own terms. So they figure out what they're doing with their evaluation and their assessment of where they want to be, and then Candida and this challenge is going to guide them into those pieces of living, whether it's health and nutrition, organization, time management, preventative health maintenance, take those pieces and help them insert them into their daily life.
Right.
And now who's holding each of us accountable? Are we just doing it ourselves, or is there, we're checking in at the end of the day every day somewhere?
Well, I think that, for us, we can really hold each other accountable by like asking those very specific questions. You said you wanted to meditate 5 minutes. I'm going to say, so Amy, how are we doing?
You said.
I'll be like, Pat, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to my car.
No more salt and vinegar chips.
So we
Anthony
have
Gemma
the four
is
of
not
us.
allowed in our office with any
Actually,
candy.
I must tell you that one of our viewers here on Ustream said that Anthony Gemma needs to put gym equipment in our office. Thanks, Pat. Our friend Pat Olson, that's what she said. So
But where are we going to put all the junk food?
We're going to have to replace that vending machine with some
Granola?
gym
Junk
equipment.
food. No, we're going to. You're in this challenge, by the
You
way.
are.
Yeah.
And
You are in by
you also
default.
need to stop bringing us candy in this,
No more
Listen.
Mike and
this
Ike's.
studio.
I weigh about, if the four of you together is me.
You are in the challenge. That's it. You're stuck.
Fantastic.
You have to join us. This is not, exclusively for women. This is a better living challenge in general. So
Sponsored by
you're in
Social
there.
Women
Well put.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Candita Clayton.
and Candida.
And also, Candida is going to be writing, or she does write, with Go Local Prov. So she has a weekly.
I have a weekly column
Weekly column.
on Thursdays. And it's all about living better. What else? Right.
So they can find the information
Yep.
for this challenge either on our Social Women Facebook page or Twitter page, or our individual pages, obviously, on your individual page, through Go Local Prov,
Yep.
and through Social Women.
And of course, there is a Facebook page just for this. It's called 8 Weeks to Better Living Challenge. If you go on Facebook /Better Living Challenge, you can like the page, and all of the information will also be on there. And that would probably be the central place to get all of that.
Right.
And we've got that connected to our Social Women page.
So go like us. I wonder how many people will actually be able to go like us today.
right now.
Like us.
Yeah.
We want
Like
you to
us, and then better yet, share us and get your friends and family to like us
Yes.
too.
And maybe many of them, of your friends and family, need to get on this 8 Week to Better Living Challenge as well. So if there are any of like my friends who are, some of them, not everyone's like as bad as I am, but they are in a lot of the same very busy kids running around trying to get things done for home, for work, and whatever social things they have that come up. So I think we all need a little bit of a breakdown on organization and time management and getting ourselves in gear.
We all do. It's not, and it's not just one thing. A lot of times, I mean, it's a combination of just busy and successful people have a lot on their plate all the time, and you're trying to do everything well, and it's really, things slip through the cracks. It doesn't matter how conscientious you are, or, sometimes at the end of the day, when you're at the end of that 24 hours, something did not happen that you wanted to happen. So we're going to just try to help those things that you want to have happen.
And it
I
does.
like that.
She just made me think of something because, Candida, the last time you were here with us, we spoke about getting ourselves in order in our life and gear and things that would help. And this week was the first week. I didn't do it prior to, but I did start this week with my food shopping and my dinner list of planning my meals out for the week.
Good.
I had my kids go through it with me and say, okay, what do you feel like having? Even if it were, one night it was Caesar salad with grilled chicken on it. Simple 2-minute thing to do.
Yeah.
But at least it's such a relief for me now, knowing I'm not driving home at 5:30, 6 o'clock saying, oh, the kids are starving. What am I going to make for dinner? And then try to think about it. And by the time I actually get around to finishing cooking, we're sitting down at, 7:30. So
Yeah.
I did take that away, and I started
good.
that little process. I also have not been faithful to the meditating, but I have done it.
But you've tried it.
I have
you
done it a
tried
few
it?
times. Yes.
Anybody else?
No, I haven't done the meditating, but My apartment is now spotless. There are no more clothes all over the place. I can see my stove. You walk in and it's just like,
You
wow,
had clothes
Amy.
on your stove?
I had clothes everywhere. I had clothes everywhere. I moved back in the summer, and for some crazy reason, I never unpacked, and I was never home, and I'd go on trips, and I'd unpack. I was like living out of I don't even know what, but it is now spotless.
Great.
Fifi gets to run around my place, and I actually, when I get home,
find
I'm happy to be home. Like, so I'm happy to spend time there now, and
That's great.
yeah. So
Bronwyn, do we
I'm
have
excited for the challenge.
Anything on your
I actually did a to-do list, which is like 56 things on it. That
Mine
we
is
do
56 pages,
today.
so you're
aren't-
okay.
Didn't we say we were going to cut down
10.
the to-do list? 10 doable things.
All right, so this is why I need you.
This is why this challenge is going to
So
be
when
so
you
important.
fill out your assessment, that's going to be one of the things that you're going to write down.
Okay.
Time management.
Where are we
a
getting?
10 doable list.
Where are we getting the assessment?
So the assessment will be on the Facebook page. You'll be able to download a PDF of the assessment, but not until we start the actual challenge, which will be in week 1 on February 28th.
February
Yes.
28th.
I'm excited.
We'll
Probably
be
like
starting.
maybe a couple days before that. We'll
So
have
get
the-
excited. So you won't be able to get the assessment until then.
Yeah.
But get ready. Get your friends together so we can all do the challenge together.
And ask questions. Send some questions along, and maybe that will also help, to formulate the assessment so that it's very targeted to the audience. So
Visit-
very
Fabulous.
excited.
Visit
Awesome.
facebook.com/Better Living Challenge. Like the page, and don't forget to visit facebook.com/Social Women to get more information.